Hello and welcome to our Coastal Expert segment. We are here today with Teresa Cowart. She is one of the owners of Remax Accent, a real estate firm right here in the Savannah area. And in fact, it is an award-winning real estate firm right here. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now we want to talk a little bit about why use a realtor, because with so much information out there, sometimes people think, you know what, I can do this myself.
They do, absolutely. And what I usually say to them is you can also go online and get a lot of information about your health. You can go to WebMD and kind of diagnose yourself. But would you do that? No. You would go to a doctor. The same thing applies when you're going to purchase a home. It's the single largest investment most people make. So you should definitely use a professional. And that's what realtors are. We're professionals. We know what we're doing. A realtor is a designation. We've been to school, we have ongoing continuing education, and we pride ourselves on doing things with integrity, and it actually is a code of ethics. So you definitely should use a professional.
Let's talk a little bit about the market and what it's like here in Savannah. You know, people always want to know, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market?
Yes, they do. It's just not that general. There are pockets of Savannah that are very hot, and we do have multiple offer situations, and they are what I would consider a seller's market in that area. And then there are other areas where there's a lot of inventory, and that's not a seller's market. That would maybe even be considered a buyer's market. So it really depends on the area of town that you're in. And again, we go back to that's when you need a realtor advising you as to what that area can accommodate.
Sure, that's all the more reason to use an expert in this process. Okay, so let's say I'm getting ready to sell my home. Now, the first and most important thing has got to be the price. And I know you have some thoughts about pricing a home.
I always say that every home will sell if you price it right, like obviously. When we go into a home, most homeowners have a price in mind, whether they found it online or whether they have an older appraisal, or whether that's just their payoff. They have some price in mind. What matters to us is what the comparables say, what the market will bear, and of course that's what we're prepared to talk to them about. It's a very emotional experience. Obviously, typically it's their home. A lot of times it's been their home for a while. Sometimes they've raised their kids there. So we have to be very careful about how we approach those type of things. But it really comes down to what the home will appraise for, what the buyer will pay for it. So we try to approach that with data. This is the data. This is what the market will bear.
And one of the things you talk about on your website is about pricing for searches. Tell us a little bit about that.
People search typically in $5,000 increments when they get down to that level. So if somebody's searching for a $350,000 house and you priced your house at $351 or $352, they're not typically going to see your house. So you're not really doing yourself a service by going up $2,000 on your price. You'll only get the people that are searching for $355. So we try to make sure that everyone's educated on that, just so they know. If your house will sell for $352, you might as well go to $355.
That's a good point. It's a good point. And another thing I like that you talk about is that pricing should be an ongoing discussion. I think that's real important with communicating with your realtor.
It absolutely is. Obviously, we try to price to sell quickly. If a home takes a little bit longer, we're constantly monitoring the neighborhood and the comparables, because the price will change as we go along. If the homeowner situation changes, then obviously we have to adjust a little bit. There's so many variables that it's just an ongoing conversation from start to finish. It just always is.
All right, well, that is some really good information. If you're considering buying or selling a home right here in the Savannah area, be sure to go to WSAV.com, click on Coastal Experts, and submit your questions to our expert, Teresa Cowart. Thanks for joining us today on Coastal Expert.